exactly does one beep beep like a sheep? Take it away, Gabe!
Now, Allie, you can beep beep like a sheep, I see. Is that all you can do?
What?
Take it away, Jesse!
Beep, beep, I'm a sheep. I said beep, beep, I'm a sheep.
Allie, go crazy now. Meow, meow like a cow. Meow, meow, I'm a cow. I said meow, meow, I'm a cow.
No.
Welcome to Podzilla After Dark here on the 1985 Network. My name is Shannon Young. I'm going to host tonight, as I often do on Thursday evenings. With me tonight is, as always, the incomparable Jesse Kimball.
Incomparable?
Incomparable.
Oh.
Yeah. That's a good thing.
I know. As in I'm without compare.
The indignant Lindsay Wolfgong.
Why do I gotta be indignant?
Why are you indignant?
Yeah,
I don't
that's true. You're the problem. And the mousy Allie Bear.
Mousy.
Hi.
Now, Allie, during the pre-show, we had some concerns because you were being very quiet. And
Is this really gonna be a thing on the show tonight? Because
well, I'm worried.
Damn.
I'm worried about her. She's usually so much more outspoken. If you listen to the Wednesday shows
I can
on Pro Wrestling Unscripted,
I
you
can
know.
feel the anger.
You think she's getting angry?
Yes.
Should I stop? Should I stop?
Probably.
Should I stop? Should I stop?
I mean, the kids love
Yeah.
squalor, but at the same time, she might just end up leaving.
I don't think I've ever made anyone leave the show before. I've come close.
Yeah, because nobody's ever just gotten up and walked out on you.
No. I think Lindsay came close once when I egged her on to the point that she literally said, fuck you. Maybe that's what I'm trying to do.
Oh,
You remember when she did that?
I do
Yeah,
remember, because
when I-
that was when you were giving her shit about like
My dick being small.
it was a joke that she didn't make,
Right,
but
but-
it sounded like she made it.
Yeah, and we took that joke and ran with it.
Yeah.
And then I got mad about it. Well, I got fake mad about it, but it made her actually mad about it. Maybe that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get you to the point that I can break you into saying the F word on the air.
Why?
But then you can't charge people for her to say it.
Seriously, what is your problem?
I don't think anyone's going to indulge us on $400 to
Hey.
hear Allie say the F word.
Derek's trying.
Derek is saving up his pennies.
Oh, my God. Speaking of Derek, let's start off the show by talking about the contest that we asked you guys about last week. So if you listened to last Thursday, you know that it was a very strange show as we talked about Pokemon and porn, and they went together beautifully, like a handcrafted artisan sandwich.
It's our most listened to episode on YouTube.
Are you serious?
It's also like the most listened to episode for the month so far.
Really?
Yeah, on Podbean. So yeah, it was a very popular episode. So again, every time someone says we can't talk about this, we're gonna scare people away, Allie, I say check the numbers, baby, because people love squalor.
One,
Or they love Pokemon.
I don't say that. Two,
porn.
why did I sound like that?
That's how you sound. I'm Allie A Bear.
Why?
Dang it, Shannon. So back to the contest.
Allie Hill?
Allie Hill. Back to the contest. We said last week when we talked about Pokemon, and I want to apologize first off to Allie. I want to apologize to you for the way that you've behaved during this.
Saw that
program.
coming.
Yeah. No, I'll leave you alone. I'm sorry. We care very much about you, and we're glad that you're here this week, because last week we had Dalton. Filthiest mouth I've ever heard. Absolutely filthy.
When you tell the boy he can let loose, he really lets loose.
We wanted to talk about Christian Bible study last week.
No,
I'm
we
sure
didn't.
you did.
And Dalton
didn't
came in. He wants to talk about porn. He wants to talk about the Lego movie. He wants to talk about DP in the anal region. We didn't even start that. So thank you for being on this week.
You're going to move on with the contest.
Speaking of the contest, we asked you last week as we were talking about the starters from the new Pokemon game. Hey, what's his name? Sobble?
Sobble.
We were talking about Sobble and the fact that it's kind of like the emo Pokemon. And I dared our listeners to create an emo band. You use emo band and put Sobble in it and send it to us. And the winner would get a hand-drawn picture from our own Lindsay Wolfgong. And there was a little bit of confusion about this because she thought it was just going to be the Pokemon that they like. But we said Pokemon plus them. So I stand by that because I think that's more personalized. I think that's very cool. Lindsay's she's gonna draw a personalized picture of the winner with their favorite Pokemon, and we got some great entries. We got hundreds, literally hundreds. And of the hundreds that we got, I think we narrowed it down to our top 3. We want to give a special honorable mention to Zane Laney, who, even though he didn't quite fulfill the obligation of what we asked, he sent us a very funny picture of Sobble. It's a Family Guy meme where Meg says, "You all always act like you're better than me," and it was Sobble, and then they were the other 2 starters plus Bulbasaur for some reason.
That's Zane's favorite starter.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
Aw.
Yeah.
I'll forgive him. So Zane,
He just shares a favorite with Dalton. It's no big deal.
you didn't win because you were disqualified because you didn't follow the contest rules.
But we still laughed.
But we still laughed a lot at it. So thank you so much. Do we have an order of it?
I thought we were going to talk about that before the show, and we never did.
I think we all kind of agree on it, though. I would say we would put Derek Boxdorfer in 3rd place.
Yeah.
We agree with that?
Yeah.
Derek sent us a picture of some kind of emo band with Sobble's head.
My Chemical Romance.
My Chemical Romance, which I think is the one I mentioned, was My Chemical
that was
Romance.
one you specifically mentioned.
So he did it. It's kind of like when you are in school, though, and they ask you, okay, give your opinion of this event, and you read verbatim from the book, and they're like, well, that's exactly what I asked you for, but, you didn't put your own opinion into it at all. So that's kind of like Derek. He did exactly what I asked him to do with no personality
and now
or
you're
flair.
being, oh my God. Now you're being punished, Derek, for doing exactly what Shannon asked.
Yeah.
Instead of reading between the lines,
Yes.
coloring outside the box.
It's the gray
I give
area.
you points for putting one on every single body in the picture, though.
Yeah.
That's true.
No, it was funny.
That's true. Our second place winner, that's the hard
So,
one.
yeah, I don't know, because there were 2 that I liked a whole lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we can go ahead and say the 2 that we liked a lot. I think we could say who they are.
We can say who they are.
It's Ciro Villegas.
Yes.
Who
Did, and we'll say what they were. Ciro's was a very funny one.
We'll post these, I'm guessing, on
Yeah.
the Facebook page.
Yeah.
So they'll be
And
there.
I love the band because the band is standing in a bathtub, and they're all holding like electronic devices, like they're gonna kill themselves. And he put eye makeup around Sobble, which makes me laugh a lot.
Yeah.
So that was very, very funny. And our other contest entry that we were putting in the top spot was Josh
Yep, Josh Shinfield.
from Press Start to Join.
Press Start to Join in Canada.
Make sure you go check out their show. It's incredibly good.
PS2jshow.com.
Yeah. And his was well, Jesse, I'll let you explain it.
Yeah, so I'm looking at it here. He just so he took all 3 of the starters, put them on there, like added a little bit of flair to it. My favorite is Score Bunny in this because he added I'm not going to call it eyeshadow, but something along those lines, and he kept the hair of the original band member. The emo swoop.
Yeah.
Just kind of photoshopped that in and left it on there. But yeah, no, I and a whole lot of eyeshadow on Sobble.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because that's the most crying one.
And it says, Pokemon, it's not a phase. And really, the caption is what, like, because I think I like Ciro's more. But the caption on Josh's,
It's not a phase.
that makes me really happy. But I think if it were up to me, my vote is on Ciro for number 1 on this one.
I agree.
That's also what I was going to say.
Well, I was going to say Josh. I think Josh should be disqualified just because he has his own show.
That's rude.
I know. It is a really hard choice, but if it's 3, it doesn't matter who I vote for at this point. But I don't have to vote. I abstain.
Coward.
Way
Abstaining.
to go.
But thank you for everybody
You
that sent your
chicken shit
that sent your submissions. They were all great. They all made us laugh. Ciro, we're gonna get in contact with you, and we're gonna get a picture, or Lindsay could just Facebook stalk you. It's one or the other. She's a woman. They do that. Am I right, fellas?
Thanks.
High five.
Nah, I ain't high-fiving that.
Oh, right here in the middle of Women's History Month. Why is there a Women's? Nope, not gonna go there. Not gonna go there.
Because even as a bit, it's not a funny one.
I made it. Yeah. I have this habit of like doing a bit and then people take me seriously, or they just get mad anyway. It doesn't matter.
Well, yeah, and then there's some people, I can think of one person in particular that takes you seriously and I mean legitimately believes you think that way sometimes.
Who is that?
about certain
Mouth
things.
it. Bitch.
Nope, but I mean he is, but
Okay.
I'll text it to
Text
you.
it to me or message me on the Facebooks
Yeah.
or text. I got my phone right here. We're going to get a picture of you with your favorite Pokemon. Lindsay's going to dress it up and give you a nice pose, and it's going to be amazing. And that's going to be, we'll send that to you. We're going to just send that to him via message, I'm assuming. Because,
I mean, that or else if he wants to send an address, I'll mail the actual.
all right, it's up to
drawing
you.
out.
Do you want a physical one or do you want a virtual one? You let us know. We're going to send it to you. That is from your friends at Podzilla 1985. So we love these impromptu contests that we do, and we're going to do more in the future. I remember one we did, Zach Price, who used to be here on the show, he wanted to do one for a Connor's Cure bracelet that went nowhere, and he got so mad about it. But our listener base has expanded quite a bit, so we're very happy about that. Thank you guys for joining the contest. All right, let's get to the meat and potatoes of the show. We're going to start off by talking about the world famous, Allie, you got to say it,
No, I don't.
because you have one of the week. What is it?
MF'er. There you go.
The motherfucker of the week. Oh,
The
yeah,
mother
okay.
trucker of the week.
Yeah, I got you. Jesse.
It's-
Yeah, I know. I think he thinks that you're one of his kind of people.
If there's a steady paycheck in it, I'll believe anything you tell me.
You look at that motherfucker and tell me he's earning a steady paycheck.
I'll call him Bucky Beaver looking motherfucker. Allie, you have a motherfucker of the week you want to talk
I
about,
do.
and then I have one that I want to talk about. Mine is important to me. Yours is important to much more. So let's start with you.
Okay.
Who is your motherfucker of the week?
Mine is the
Your what?
USDA MF'er of the week.
Okay.
Is the U.S. Department of Agriculture, because today I found out through following the kitten lady that there is a piece of legislation going in to stop the being talked about. It hasn't actually passed or anything. To stop the USDA from experimenting on kittens and then killing them.
I didn't know that was the thing in the first place.
Yes.
Yeah.
I did not either.
Well, I mean, animal
But-
testing has always been a theme,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
And the case that they're talking about is the USDA is using kittens, they're breeding kittens to pretty much harvest the parasite from the foodborne illness. Where'd it go? Toxoplasmosis, if that's how you say it. Because they're doing research about that foodborne illness. But as soon as they harvest the parasite, they kill the kitten.
So where
Which
do
completely unnecessary.
where the kitten's getting the parasite? Is it,
They are feeding the kittens infected raw meat.
Which that on its own is.
So I've
a
got
little
something.
fucked up.
I've got something pulled up here. It's from Detroit News, and it's actually a couple sites. Research experiments at a Maryland lab helped improve public health, but resulted in killing 221 cats during the last 5 years at an annual project cost of $624,000.
They
Federal
have
officials say
this experiment has actually been going on for over 30 years, with over
36 years ago.
with over 2,000 kittens
Yep.
being killed.
They kill a few dozen cats a year over the life of this project, apparently.
Yeah, a few dozen to 100.
Yeah, that's icky.
Yes.
The Department of Agriculture has not released many statements. The article I have is on NBCnews.com. They claim that the safest thing to do after they pretty much infect these kittens is to kill them, but the vets and everything are saying that humans catching this from a kitten that had it at one point is very unlikely.
Because it seems like they need to ingest the thing to begin with.
Well, it's a parasite, so the parasite they're getting the parasite out of the kitten's wastes.
Mm-hmm.
Which this toxoplasmosis really isn't a huge concern unless you are pregnant or have a immune system issue, because the
Which
CDC,
if they're getting it from raw meat, if you're pregnant, you shouldn't be eating raw meat
well,
anyways.
also if you're pregnant, you shouldn't
Be
be
handling
handling
cats.
cat litter.
Yeah.
There's lots of things you can get from cats' feces.
Yeah. The CDC has said that there are 40 million cases that end up the person is fine. Because it really only affects if you are pregnant or have...
So what's the point of the research in the first place?
Because it's still this...
I have this whole thing pulled up, sorry.
Well, I also have it pulled up. This research... This foodborne illness is still like the number one death-causing foodborne illness because it can be pretty problematic for those groups of people.
Immunocompromised people and pregnant people.
But if that's the top one, that means we don't really have a lot of foodborne problems.
Yeah, well, I mean, that has improved significantly over the last hour. You were just about to the point now where it is generally safe to eat not fully cooked pork.
But the act that they're trying to pass, which is the Kitten Act, which is shortened from Kittens in Traumatic Testing Ends Now, what it will do is not end the testing that they're doing. It's not going to end their research. It's just going to cut the funding that would allow them to kill the kittens. And instead, because they're healthy kittens, they can be treated, they're going to be adopted out to homes.
The only downside
or they're just not
is...
going to euthanize them, and they're just going to do it behind the books and kill them violently otherwise.
Well, the Humane Society will end up euthanizing them just because of the...
depending on where they go.
A couple things. This thing, toxoplasmosis, apparently kills upwards of 750 people per year. Wow. So 750 people per year are killed by toxoplasmosis, which is what they're trying to do on this. The bill that she's talking about is surprisingly from a Republican named Mike Bishop out of Worcester, who expressed concerns about it last month and has looked into it. And the bill that they are proposing, along with the Democrat from California named Jimmy Panetta, looks to amend the Animal Welfare Act to prohibit the Agriculture Department's breeding, use, and disposal of cats in painful or stressful testing procedures. The ARS said that this is important, that it's a life-saving research that they share, and they do their best to minimize the amount of cats that are killed for this, and that adoption has been concluded to be too dangerous because the cats still represent a public health risk that is too high for us to consider rehorning of ARS research cat population at this time.
And that's what the American Veteran Association or whatever has said. Humans... They basically said it's unlikely because if you're pregnant or if you have a compromised immune system, there's a higher chance of you being affected by these cats. But if you're pregnant or have a compromised immune system, you shouldn't be handling used cat litter anyway.
Well, I mean, you can get some of the other illnesses that come from kitty fecal matter. Just if they don't, properly clean their claws or whatever after they've buried, if they've gone to litter box, they scratch you. Because that's most of the cases where you end up getting infected by a cat. Mm-hmm. It's because they had shit on their claws, and when they went to play or whatever, they clawed you. Mm-hmm. So I mean that can happen. And the other downside to even really they shouldn't be using kittens for in the first place. I feel like they could just as easily grab cats from the local Humane Society that are about to be euthanized, because we do have in the United States an overpopulation problem with cats. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Shelters are constantly full of cats. There are wild cats all over the place because people are assholes and they just let their cats out and wander.
I personally I'm a big animal rights person. I think testing on animals is disgusting anyway. I get that the technology is not there for us to create anything that will, properly test a lot of this stuff. But I wish there was a different way,
I agree. So, it
used to be monkeys. And then that movie Outbreak came out, and then no one wanted to use monkeys anymore.
Because I feel like the compromise here could just be to, like I said, the Humane Society euthanizes hundreds of cats a year across the country.
Yeah.
So I feel
why breed them yourself and kill them?
Right. Hit up your local Humane Society. Because even ours euthanizes a bunch of cats annually.
Well, do you think that maybe part of it's because they have a controlled environment? that you wouldn't get by grabbing cats that have already existed for however long?
They can make sure.
Most likely, yeah.
Yeah, so the parasite's not, bonding with or affected by anything else in there. Like, they know these cats were born infected and then harvested.
You're also, if you get a cat from the Humane Society, you can pretty much guarantee it has a respiratory infection. You can pretty much guarantee it has quite a few other
right. But
illnesses.
I guess it depends on, because I need to know more about like what exactly they're trying to, what exactly they're accomplishing by harvesting the parasite, because I feel like that wouldn't really matter. Like you infect the cat, you harvest the cat, and then that the cat has been euthanized now.
Yeah,
because it was a cat that was on its way out. Because Allie's right. Like the other problem with like you don't often see adult cats leaving the Humane Society for situations like Bob. They got the adult cat from the Humane Society
and went through a lot of trouble with it, a lot of sickness with it. It was an unfortunate situation, but luckily the cat got healthy and was okay in the end. He had to give it away anyway, but that's a different story for a different show that is much more angrier than this one.
That one I don't think will ever get aired.
Oh, last show, all secrets come out.
Oh no,
everything you've ever wanted to know about the dirt here on Podzilla. So the important thing you mentioned this though is because there is a petition. Where did you say where people can go to sign the petition? By the way, this isn't new. No. In looking this up, this has been known for almost a year at least. Mm-hmm. So this is one of those things that like this didn't just happen yesterday. This has been a thing for a while. There is a petition, and which I signed today, or send a letter.
What
type
it does is it will email
the congressman.
Your representative.
Basically the same shit we did with net neutrality.
Yeah, except this time it's like actual lives on the line, not just how fast you can access your internet. Which to me is a whole lot more important. Like I get, there's a lot of people that go, well, they're just cats. They're animals. A lot of people don't see animal life as important because they're not as advanced as human beings are. So what's the point? But it's still a life. Life is life.
A lot of people argue though, like that. A lot of people would argue that you would hit that like slippery slope.
Yeah, there's a sliding scale of like, okay, so. You don't do tests on humans, obviously, because they're humans, right?
Yeah.
You do tests on animals. Well, now you can't do tests on animals because you feel bad because of the animals. What about insects that you kill? What about pesticides? What about all the things you kill on a daily basis that isn't small and furry and adorable that you don't give a shit about because they're not small, furry, and adorable?
Well, shit, even like stuff that is small and adorable that like you don't give a shit if they die. I eat so much beef every week. Pork, chicken.
I would say, well, at least there's a food chain type thing, but at the same time, like I'm exploiting the food chain.
Yeah, because it's like
for my own personal benefit.
Well, like cats and dogs, like I would never want to harm. I would never eat a cat or a dog. I would never harm a cat or a dog. Like I love cats and dogs and pets in general. But like basically you hit that like I see it like the vegetarian stuff. It's like it shows like the scale of okay to eat versus not okay to eat. In terms of, but like what else is the difference?
Well, I mean, there was a big controversy years ago with KFC with how they treated their chickens. You remember the torture that they put them through?
Oh, yeah.
What a miserable existence they had, and people were outraged, and they changed the policy for how they handle chickens. So I'm hoping
the chicken got more expensive,
and
everybody got mad about that too.
I'll pay an extra $1 for chicken if it means that these poor things led a better life. And I think the same thing with these cats. I'm hoping that creating awareness can create change, and I personally think that infecting kittens and then killing them once you get to research is a shitty thing. Mm-hmm. Like, I get science is important and we're trying to save human lives, and I know I'm going to get shit for this, but like there has to be a better way or a compromise or something, What happened to the future where we're supposed to be able to run like virtual tests on these things? To every movie you watch, they're on their computer, they hit 7 keystrokes and a little thing pops up that says success or failure, and they go,
they're doing simulations.
Why can't we do simulations,
Yeah, because like I said, I really need to know like what exactly they're doing with this. Like, because again, I feel like there are way better alternatives that I can think of. And if I'm sitting here like, this would be a way better alternative, surely they've thought of it because they're much smarter than I am.
It's ridiculous. I mean, it's a feel bad story.
Yeah. But what you can do is you can go to kittenact.com. You'll fill in your name, and then it'll ask for an address because that's how it'll figure out your representative. And then it already has an email for you, and you can just hit send and it'll go to your representative. I did it. I got the automated response back.
From your senator?
Yes.
Oh, let me check my email. I wonder if he sent me back one too. Because I also did it after Allie did it.
Yep.
Because this is something that I think is very, very important.
Such and such feels that your concern on this is very important and flag burning.
Yeah. Well, no, I got, they're trying to get me to shut down section 215 spying, but I haven't got a reply yet about that. So well, I'll keep my eyes open.
Yeah, you'll end up on your representative's mailing list probably.
Woo!
So yeah, I like to respond to my senators and representatives whenever they email me their newsletter. And it's very rarely kind.
When I was in Illinois, I was represented by Big Dick Durbin.
Big Dick Durbin.
That's what we called him in high school. And then years later, out of college and into my life, like 10 years after college into my life, he's still around. I'm like, holy shit, Dick Durbin's still there. Good for you. I also have the motherfucker of the week. Mine's a little bit more personal, though. So Lindsay messaged or called me the other day after she went to work and said that she got declined for a pair of socks.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, this motherfucker.
So I'm like, how did you get declined for a pair of socks? We have hundreds of dollars at the bank. She's like, well, I just checked. We're negative 250. So I freak out and I go, there's no possible way that's just impossible. Maybe there was an error. So I go and I look and I'm looking through the history. Maybe a bunch of bills pulled that we didn't know about. And no, instead I see a charge on my debit card for $699 to a thing called like Green Dot or something, Green Bank or something like that.
Well, no, it was a Google Pay.
Yeah,
it was to your Google Pay account.
And in full disclosure, I don't even know what Google Pay is. Jesse had to tell me. I didn't know what Google Wallet was. Jesse had to tell me because I'm freaking out about this. I'm like, what the hell? My first thought was that maybe I was up because this happened apparently at 1:52 a.m. on Friday. So I thought, okay, a lot of the time I'll set up till like 3 a.m. on my phone or playing a game or something, and sometimes I'm half asleep. Maybe I was on my phone and I bought $700 worth of stuff in the Google Play Store. But then Jesse informed me Google Play and Google Pay are not the same thing. Looked into it a little bit more, and it looks like somebody got into my Google account, which is connected to my debit card because I would buy stuff in the Google Play Store, and then they transferred money into a virtual thing, which they bought a thing called like a Green Dot card, which apparently is huge in the criminal underworld, and it's $700 out of my bank account for this shit.
Yep.
There's a fraud investigation going on to make sure that I guess that I didn't do it. I don't know. I can assure you I didn't. And hopefully I'll get my money back in the next couple of weeks. Hopefully, because otherwise all the money we've saved up for moving is now
it's just
gone.
down the toilet because of some jackass.
Yeah. So whoever did that, and I know you're not listening, but if you were, fuck you. You're a motherfucker. And I hope all the bad things in life happen to you and only you.
Yeah, because you want to know how this shit happens?
I do.
All right. Because so similar thing happened to me a couple weeks ago. Significantly less bad. So I'm pretty sure that here at the studio, there's a computer that has a keylogger on it. Because I had my, of all things, Little Caesars account information taken. And even before that, like I had my Netflix information taken. And basically, yeah, there's a keylogger. They're grabbing usernames and passwords, and these guys are selling them online on the dark web. And yeah, like you can go online right now, and you can buy usernames and passwords. Like it's not hard to get there. The dark web isn't some secret, mysterious place.
However, in a warning, do not pursue the dark web.
Yeah, I caution you.
There are things on the dark web you don't want to see.
And, you know, it's not like super safe to do. If you don't know what you're doing, I recommend staying far away. But it's not hard just to do. Again, don't. But for obvious reasons,
it's ridiculously easy to get there. Don't do it. But it's so simple. You can just go to this site, and I'm telling you not to.
But also, it makes you kind of a piece of shit.
To go to the dark web?
To go to the dark web and buy like people's usernames and passwords and steal their shit.
There's no one that goes to the dark web for legal reasons.
No. Mm-hmm. Why would you?
Why would you?
They wouldn't call it that. You just go to the regular web for that.
It's called the internet.
So, yeah, like, so Keylogger grabbed all of our login information that I typed in on that computer for me. Netflix, Twitch, and Little Caesars are the three that I know for sure that have been hit from that computer. And yeah, they grabbed my Little Caesars account because I ordered pizza online at Little Caesars once. they require you to use your debit card. You can't just pay at the store with Little Caesars online ordering. And they don't ask for a verification code whenever you use the credit card a second time that it saves for you for your convenience.
Woo!
Yeah. So I get an email while I'm at work. Thank you for your Little Caesars pizza order. And I'm just like, huh? I mean, Little Caesars sounds great right now, but
Did I subconsciously order it to surprise myself?
say, look, and I've got an $80 order to Little Caesars on like in this email that sends me the receipt somewhere in fucking Los Angeles, California, and I'm like, oh hell no. Fortunately, I was able to. I called the Little Caesars, had them cancel the order. They refunded me, changed my username and password on the Little Caesars website, and also deleted my payment information. Dunskies, good to go. Twitch, like some motherfucker logged on and then used my Twitch Twitch Prime subscription thing on a couple of random fucking channels. That was annoying. I guess they went to their favorite fucking PewDiePie bullshit and followed it. And yeah. And then on Netflix, some motherfucker changed the language to Spanish.
Well, you said it was out in L.A., right?
Well, these are different people because this
Okay.
happened at different times.
Gotcha.
Because like with Twitch, I started getting notifications like douchebag McGillicuddy is streaming right now. I'm like, who the fuck is this? And yeah, that's when I found out that happened. And then with Netflix, they upgraded me to the 4K plan.
Oh,
And changed my language to Spanish.
there's a 4K plan,
Yeah.
but we already get 4K movies on Netflix.
Then you have the 4K plan. The most expensive plan is 4K and has the most users.
Yeah,
they
we
can get
definitely
on.
have that because of Fergus.
So yeah, like any passwords that have been entered in that computer, those just got thrown in on this website where somebody just purchased them. And they checked and saw like, you had your Google account. They tried to log in. You didn't have the 2-step verification going. So yeah, they just got in and had access to everything. Make sure you have 2-step verification on as many things as you can, folks.
That's true, and don't leave your credit card saved in for any convenience.
I mean,
Seriously, because so many things, like my PlayStation, doesn't require any verification at all. Like I just hit buy. Same thing with Xbox One. When I buy stuff on there, I just hit buy because it's convenient. You don't have to put shit in. The problem with that is that if anyone hacks your account or whatever, then they've got your info. They can buy whatever.
I have all those set up through PayPal. So like I have to put in a password to buy. But that's all I got to put in as a password, as opposed to my debit card number and everything.
You got to lock it down. It's a shitty world. It's a shitty world. Yep. I still remember when I was playing World of Warcraft, and it's funny now, but I'm playing World of Warcraft, and Bob logs on, and he's in a dungeon, and I'm like, I didn't know Bob resubscribed, so I go into Bob's room, and he's just sitting there like reading a book, and I'm like, are you playing WoW? He's like, no, not for like 7 months, and there went Lindsay's sucker.
It's fine.
And it's back in her mouth. Someone had hacked Bob and was playing on his game as we spoke.
Yeah, because that was World of Warcraft, and Blizzard just in general was notorious about because it's not just like losing it via keylogger. You can also get just your password brute forced, or more frequently, data leaks.
Yeah.
So
data leaks are bad nowadays.
Yeah,
Super bad.
There's a lot of people just having data breaches and you losing all that information.
Wouldn't it be nice if the people that were smart enough to do that
actually use their abilities for good?
Yeah. If they were like, you know what, I can do all these crazy things. I'm this computer illiterate. I'm gonna help people instead of
as opposed
I'm
to
gonna leak everyone's
self-gain.
info.
Yep. Problem is, being a good guy don't pay.
Ending of American Vandal season 2.
So yeah, no, it's really unfortunate if you actively steal people's information and sell that shit, and you steal from other people, you are a motherfucker.
Or if you go to the dark web, or if you support euthanizing kittens after.
That also makes you a motherfucker.
All these are motherfuckers of the week. I better get my money back. I'm gonna be so pissed if I don't. There is no way that they could say, well, we think you did it. And I would go,
I'm going to be
okay,
pissed.
Well, where'd it go?
Because that's my tax money.
Show me anything in my house that was purchased recently that was $700. Go on, I'll wait. Here's my receipts for everything.
They find a PS4 Pro there. Oh, shit.
I'm like, no, I got that from the store. I stole it.
I didn't pay for that.
I didn't pay for that. Don't tell Lonnie. So, yeah, there's your motherfuckers of the week. Well deserved this week. And now's the hard part of the show, and I didn't want to do this because I didn't have anything to talk about.
You said we were going to talk about our favorite 80s movies.
I did, but then I didn't tell Jesse. And also, Allie doesn't even know what era the 80s were. Like, she knows there was the 50s and 60s, and then there's a blank spot, and then the 90s. She remembers The Sandlot, but not
I did a lot
Bad
of
News
drugs.
Bears. You
in
did a
the
lot
80s.
you did a lot of drugs in the 90s when you were born.
Halfway through them.
So the reason I got on an 80s kick was because I was watching a bunch of RoboCop stuff today.
Why?
I noticed that.
Was that my phone?
Yes.
Yeah. Considering whenever I messaged you on my break,
We just started sending you
got-
RoboCop gifts.
Yes.
I have seen you put a lot of RoboCop gifs all over the place, really.
Yeah, once I get hooked on something, I just exploit it until
How
people
bizarre.
get sick of it. How bizarre.
Until he finds his next thing.
I still can't believe a fucking song came on today. Did you see that? The message that I sent?
No, I saw you guys talking about how bizarre, but I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, so I went up to, so I haven't heard this song in a fucking decade.
OMC.
And Shannon hits me with it like yesterday, or Tuesday. We were hanging out in the store, like me, Shannon, and Hunter, and a couple of other people. And yeah, like they're just, constantly quoting that song. And yeah, like I said, it's been years since I've heard it. So I go up to another office at my building today where I work, just to take care of something up there real quick. I was in there for 3 minutes. The entire 3 minutes. How bizarre.
How bizarre. That would happen. Also, I know Hunter's listening, so I want to clarify what I told him on Tuesday. OMC, he's like, no one knows what that stands for. I actually did, because I looked it up because of that song. It stands for the Otara Millionaires Club. I couldn't remember what the O stood for. It's Otara Millionaires Club, and they're dead. So.
Yeah, because I
way to
remember you
bring it
making that
down.
claim,
The
but you
sadness
weren't
of that.
sure.
Well, okay,
So every member of OMC is currently dead?
Well, it was formed by a guy, and I'm gonna mispronounce his last name. Phil Fumana. I'm probably mispronouncing that, but they're all from New Zealand. He affectionately known as the Godfather of South Auckland. I'm assuming it's Auckland. I maybe pronounce that as well. He passed away in 2005 from a heart attack. He also, I think his brother was the other. His younger brother Paulie was the other one. He passed away in 2010 from chronic inflammatory, so many words, respiratory failure. Let's just leave it at that. He had so many terminal illnesses towards the end of his life. So yeah, OMC is gone. And I'm not saying that in joy. Like, that's really sad. But it's just weird to think that, like, every time you hear that song and you go, oh, I remember that song. I wonder what they're up to. They're dead.
So you're telling me
They're all
OMC, like the song How Bizarre, was written by a bunch of Kiwis?
Yes. Named as one of the greatest songs from New Zealand, which I thought, okay, cool. Name another.
Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's really funny. How bizarre.
Do we have any New Zealand listeners?
Probably.
We do.
I think we're global, baby.
I'm a big fan of New Zealand personally.
I am too. It's the only good thing about Australia.
Once you get past the smell, there's no.
Or I guess I could just call it good Australia.
Hey, I like Australia.
Oh, fuck Australia.
It gave us.
And I know we have Australian
Paul-
listeners.
Paul Hogan.
Steve Irwin is way better than Paul Hogan.
Fuck. Don't bring a gun to a knife fight.
See, you played Knifey Spoony before.
And I would also say that PETA would disagree with you.
Who?
Wait, did we call them the motherfuckers of the week last week?
No, we didn't.
Did we never address that?
No, we didn't.
No, but they.
Wait,
But
who was
they
the
definitely
who
earned
was the
Definitely-
motherfuckers last week?
I don't remember.
Maybe it was
It was
PETA.
something
definitely
Dalton
need to
wanted
be.
it to be.
What's that, Allie?
They definitely need to be.
Yeah, we'll just throw PETA in too.
They needed to be before.
Well, yeah, but yeah, of course. But, people need a hook. People need a sexy hook, a reason to get mad at people. PETA's definitely a motherfucker of the week, too. You know what? Everyone is. Everyone listening, you're all
Why
motherfuckers
is this
this week.
motherfucker show? Because that's all we've talked about.
True.
Because there's a lot of shitbirds out there.
And honestly, like, yeah, everybody's already forgotten about what PETA did, including me.
Well, because every week there's something new to get pissed about.
Yeah, 'cause I
Paul
remember-
Manafort got 4 years today. He was looking at life. He got 4 years.
Yeah.
Let that sink in.
Yep.
Hopefully he'll get
Well, it's because he flipped and gave out information.
that will never be used for anything good. All right, let's.
Yeah,
What
well.
do you want to talk about? Smart ass.
Well, somebody tell me what PETA did, because I legitimately
It
did
was
forget.
them calling
They called out Steve Irwin
Yeah.
on his
Oh,
birthday.
that was it.
on
Yeah.
his birthday.
Yeah.
Fuck you, PETA.
Where they were like, he was a danger to society and animals, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Fucking PETA.
PETA's lost their guy. They're out their rabbit ass minds, to quote a friend and scholar.
Yeah, you don't talk shit about Steve Irwin. He was a national treasure.
Not our national treasure, but still.
He was definitely more popular here. I found out that most Australians dislike Steve Irwin.
I don't think anyone dislikes Steve Irwin except PETA.
Well,
Wait,
so-
is PETA in Australia?
Probably.
PETA is worldwide.
Is
I
PETA
thought.
like? Is it made of mostly Australians though, and that's why they don't like?
I
it?
don't
think
think
that's
so.
true.
Like I think 90% of PETA is Australian.
But I know, so like I say this, it's anecdotal. Like if we have Australians listening, like or you know somebody from Australia that loves the crocodile hunter, great.
Crikey.
But I remember when my stepfamily, my dad married Australian people. An Australian person.
About to say, damn.
And they lived here in the U.S. for a little while. Like they lived with us. It was my stepmom and one of her children moved with her. And they just couldn't stop talking about how much they hated the crocodile hunter because it basically painted Australians in this light of like all of them are outback dwelling, knife carrying, like crocodile people.
See also.
So they probably also really hated Crocodile Dundee.
So see
did.
also Paul Hogan. Yeah.
Because
Crocodile
I mean
Dundee.
those were especially like back in the 90s and early 2000s, that was our biggest exposure to Australia.
Yeah.
They had an outback goddamn steakhouse.
And that one Simpsons episode.
Oh yeah. With
Knifey
the
Spoony.
frogs.
Yeah.
Which actually is a hilarious joke about how the Australian government continues to import animals to try and deal with animals they've imported.
Stop messing with the ecosystem.
They fucked their ecosystem hard. For anybody that's really curious about this, just look up the cane toad.
Yeah. And I also want to say to our friends out there from Australia and the people listening, Australians are not knife wielding animal hunters. They are criminals. They are the dredges of society, but not all of them are animal hunters.
God damn.
Ando's a very excited Pokemon fan.
Oh, that's the guy you watch on there, isn't
Unlisted
it?
Leaf.
Yeah. Well, he's one of the good ones.
This is also like my anger towards Australians really does stem from that step family I was referring to. So I do want to apologize to any Australian listeners we have, because my step family are pieces of shit.
And can you give them their names in case they want to go out and talk to them personally?
No.
That's a wise decision.
Yeah.
Now speaking of the Paul Hogans of the world and the Crocodile Dundees, that movie's from the 80s.
Yes.
And we were talking about 80s movies a second ago and how
I
much
like 80s movies.
how much I love RoboCop.
There's a lot of really good 80s movies.
Allie, what's your favorite 80s movie?
I'm really bad with time. So get back to me.
It's either The Sandlot or Gremlins.
For her?
Yeah.
Wait, is Sandlot 80s? I thought that was
late
90s.
That was late 80s.
I'm looking
I
it
could
up.
be wrong.
I'm looking it up, and if you are wrong, 1,000 lashes.
Well,
I mean,
like
it wouldn't be the
E.T.,
first time I'm wrong.
The Sandlot was
Ferris
in
Bueller's Day Off.
1993.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought that was on it.
That's fine.
Did you say you liked PT?
E.T.
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 I was not a fan of E.T.
Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Are you just scrolling through a list right now?
I am. I told you I'm bad
It's gonna
with
be the
time.
easiest way to do it. Because there's a lot of movies. Like, I mean, we just had a disagreement about Sandlot because it was 90s.
Yeah.
RoboCop.
RoboCop was really good.
The
Back
Lost
to the Future.
Boys.
All of the was Lost Boys? Yeah, Lost Boys was 80s.
87.
Empire and Return were 80s.
Beetlejuice.
That's a good movie.
All of the Arnold Schwarzenegger movies.
Never Ending Story.
Name one from the 80s that wasn't good.
Last Action Hero.
90s.
Was it really?
Yep.
Okay.
But you could have said, when was Twins? Actually,
I like
Twins was after
Twins.
Last Action Hero.
okay.
I'm pretty sure.
Twins was terrible, but I like it.
It was awful, but I love me some Danny DeVito.
80s is when Arnold Schwarzenegger really hit his stride because you had, the Predator, you had
Terminator.
you had there's one I'm trying to think of, Commando. I mean, that was like the era of the manly man movies. Predator being the manliest of all manly movies.
Because that was the 80s. You also had Rambo hit
Yeah.
around then, the Rocky movies.
Yeah. A lot of beef going on back then.
Well, I think Rocky started in the 70s, right?
I think it did start in the 70s, but it went through the 80s
Yeah,
into
definitely.
All my
Because
Rat
Rocky-
Pack movies.
I know Rocky 3 was the 80s, and that's the best Rocky movie.
Ghostbusters,
It had Mr. T.
1984.
Back to the Future.
Back to
I
the
said
Future.
Back to the Future
He
already.
did.
I wasn't listening. I'm
The Princess
sorry.
You
Bride.
never listened to me.
The
Princess
Thing.
Bride.
Breakfast
That's a great
Club.
movie.
Pretty
Still
in
haven't seen
Pink. 16 Candles.
I'm pretty sure you could just stop at The Thing because I think if you look at the movies from the 80s, every genre of film, the best movie from that genre was made in the 80s.
I don't think that's true.
Comedy, Beverly Hills Cop. That's it. You won the game. And if you're not a fan of Beverly Hills Cop, how about Airplane?
Ooh, boy, I love me some Airplane.
Look at horror. You had The Thing.
But
You had
again,
Nightmare on Elm Street.
I have a topper for you in comedy.
What's that?
Blazing Saddles.
Was that 80s or was that late 70s?
I think that was
I
70s.
think it was 70s.
We're going to find out right now, though, but I think it is 70s. Please be the 80s. If it's the 80s, I'm going to just turn the show
Well,
off.
Spaceballs was the
Shit,
80s.
74.
Told you.
Okay, but 70, all right, the 70s had...
Then you had Men in Tights in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
That was real good.
nah.
Had Dave Chappelle.
Yeah, it was okay.
I liked it at Men in Tights.
I liked it too. I mean, when I was a kid, I loved it, but I don't like it as much as I did when I was a
men.
kid.
We're manly men.
I think my favorite part of that movie is Dave Chappelle, where they're like, a black sheriff?
Wrong
Why
movie.
not? It worked in Blazing Saddles. And they all go, oh, yeah. Fast Times at Ridgemont High, Top Gun, Weird Science, The Shining. The 80s are Aliens, Bill and
The
Ted,
Land Before Time.
Yes.
Labyrinth.
I forgot the first Land Before Time was the 80s.
The beginning of the Disney Renaissance, Little Mermaid.
Who Framed Roger Rabbit,
Oh, that's a good movie.
Can't Buy Me Love.
But in fairness, we could do this
Oh,
with
yeah.
every decade.
I was hoping you would stop and then you would hear the crickets for Can't Buy Me Love because I don't even know what the fuck that is.
I don't even-
I'm looking it up right now. Is it a Feldman movie? No, Patrick Dempsey. Never heard of it.
Let's see what else we got. Oh, Coming to America.
Coming to America.
I liked that movie.
The Goonies.
Mm-hmm.
Again, Ghostbusters.
Yes.
2 Indiana Jones films.
Yep.
Heathers,
Mm-hmm.
which I showed Allie not too
I like Heathers.
long ago. Footloose.
I'm
Okay, well,
sorry.
apparently that broke
Something
Lynn.
about
No,
Footloose is
I was watching Avengers Infinity War and they were talking about the dance off. And like in Footloose, yes. Is it still the best movie? It never was.
She's right. Poltergeist, Blade Runner.
Short Circuit.
I will put 80s.
5.
The only thing 80s movies lacked is the high budget CG that today's movies have. But that also makes movies to me very soulless.
Dark Crystal,
That's not
Labyrinth.
I don't like CG. Like
There was a period of the late 90s, early aughts where the CG made everything look bad.
Star Wars Episode 1. Which, by the way, I posted a thing on my Facebook. I want everyone to go watch if you haven't yet. It's on Shannon Young. You look at me up. That's helpful. Look, I'll tell you what. Look up Lindsay Wolfgong. That was a much harder one to find copies of. Then find me. Look up Lindsay. Add her on Facebook. Lindsay Wolfgong. LINDSEY WOLFGONG. And then add me from there.
Or just go to Podzilla
But it's
1985.
not posted on there, dummy.
Facebook.com/Podzilla1985. You can find Shannon's posts there.
But I didn't post it there.
Aren't you listed as an admin on the page?
I have no idea. But the point is I posted a video from Ahmed Best. You remember Ahmed Best? There's
The
crickets
name
again.
sounds really familiar, but no.
Lindsay, do you know Ahmed Best?
I feel like I should, but my brain is not processing.
If I were to tell you that Ahmed Best was one of the most iconic characters from Star Wars, take a guess. Think.
Was that the voice of Salacious Crumb? Like, is this where this?
No,
this is
but
going?
that's very funny.
Oh, I know what video you're
Yeah.
talking about.
Think Misa.
No.
Oh fuck! Oh, it's Jar Jar Binks.
It's Jar Jar
God
Binks.
Damn, I knew that name sounded familiar.
It's funny that your reaction is that, both of you, because the video is Ahmed Best talking about the day he almost killed himself.
Aw.
He was walking after Star Wars had come out. He was a 24-year-old actor, biggest thing ever. They're telling him he's going to be this huge star, and then he got so much hate for Jar Jar Binks that he almost killed himself. And apparently he took his son to the same bridge that he was going to jump off at that point and took a picture together. He posted to like Instagram, and everyone like kind of, he told the story about how he was going to kill himself. And it's just a video of him talking about that moment in his life where he was going to take his own life because of that. And it's funny you two responded that way.
Now-
because that is exactly what he's talking
Now-
about. You just say Jar Jar Binks and everyone gives pitchforks.
I will admit, when it first came out, I liked Jar Jar.
I always hated that
It's
motherfucker.
over time. He has grown more annoying.
My grandpa. So the probably I guess the third time I saw. I don't know why I saw episode 1 in theaters 3 times. 3 different people took me and my little brother to see it.
Because you were little Jesse.
And it was Star Wars. It was Star
It
Wars
was
for
Star
the
Wars.
first time in 20 years.
And I mean, in fairness, like I was, when did that movie come out? 1998, something like that.
97, 98, somewhere in that
Somewhere
range.
in there.
range.
Yeah, sounds familiar.
So yeah, I mean, like I wasn't 10 yet when that movie came out, and that would have put Jake at like 8 or 9.
God, you make
And-
me feel old.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm not that much younger.
I
than
was
you.
in high school.
Yeah, because I'm like what 5 years younger than you.
I mean, if it makes you feel better, everyone hits that point eventually.
I know.
There's some 55-year-old guy out there that listens to your stories and go, God, you make me feel old.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, because I think both of you are like one of you is like I think Lindsay's like 5 years older and you're 6 years older than
I'm
me.
48, dude.
God damn.
You're not 48.
So because it makes it sound like when you say like when I say that I was 10 and you say you were in high school, technically that's only 4 years.
Yeah.
To be fair, I have the same problem with my little brother that I know he's only 7 years younger than me, but I still see him as like the tiny little annoying little brother, even though he's gonna be like 29 this year.
He's married, owns a house.
I do the same shit with my little brother. Like, I mean, he's only a year and a half younger than me, but like, I still think of him as a dopey little kid. But he's got 2 kids and a house.
Oh, I found a fun thing. Let's do this. We got about 10
Okay.
minutes left. This will be fun. So I found a list. It's called the List Challenge. 180 movies you must see. How many have you seen?
Okay, how are we gonna keep track of this individual?
We're not.
We're just gonna
just
talk about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or pull out your phones. No, that's going to get... ooh.
Let's just talk
Let's
about
just talk
it.
about it.
Really?
All right.
Okay.
So I'm going to go over this list, and you tell me if you've seen this movie. I think we can get through all 100 of this. This will be...
In 10 minutes?
Hell yeah. We're not going to talk about
Okay,
every movie.
we'll put it this way then. We'll keep track of the movies that none of us have seen.
Okay, that's fair.
If
That
that's
should
the
be a pretty
case.
tiny list.
If there is such a thing. All right, first off, 3 O'Clock High. Never seen it.
I
Nope.
Don't.
All right.
All right,
I'll start strong.
1.
48 Hours, starring Nick Nolte and Eddie Murphy. Seen it.
Nope.
Nope.
No.
Oh, it's a classic. Okay, no, I'm not
I've
gonna
at
get
least
mad.
heard of it.
Not gonna get mad. Also,
I have
these are-
heard of it.
These are in alphabetical order. so
That's
that should be
fine.
fun. Adventures in Babysitting. Seen it.
Yes.
Yep.
This is going to be a
Don't
very
think
tough
so.
list for Allie.
Yeah.
The Adventures of Buckaroo Banzai. Seen it.
Yep.
No.
I don't think so.
Akira.
Yes.
Yep.
I think I watched it with Calvin because that's
That's
like
a
one
good
of
bet.
his
Do you
favorites.
That's a
remember
solid
the
bet.
giant teddy bear spewing milk?
All right, someone isolate that.
Out of context is real
Yeah.
weird.
In fact, here's what I need. I need someone.
Then again, in context, it's still pretty weird.
Here's another contest for our listeners.
Oh no!
I need you
to draw nightmare fuel from Akira. That's real easy.
No. Photoshop a picture of Lindsay. You can find it on Facebook.
No!
Photoshop a picture of her, with
I'm gonna go set my stuff to private.
with the word bubble.
idea.
You remember when that giant teddy bear spewed milk?
You're
No,
such
please
a
don't make this an actual
jerk.
contest. That's a bad idea. That's inviting all sorts of peril.
Aliens,
Yeah.
of course.
Yes.
You bullshit.
Don't yell at me!
Bullshit.
I've seen it.
Don't at me, bro.
God damn it, that broke me.
Doubt
Shannon,
it.
what's the next movie?
An American Werewolf in London.
Yes.
Yes.
Probably favorite horror movie of all time, other than The Thing. At Close Range.
No.
No.
Back to the Future.
Yes.
Yes.
Beastmaster. Yes.
Yes.
No. I'm not sure I know what that is, to be honest.
Not good is the answer. Better Off Dead. Yes.
No.
Who's in it?
John Cusack. It's about like his girlfriend breaks up with him and there's
Yeah.
skiing
Okay.
involved.
Yep.
Lindsay.
No.
Beverly Hills Cop.
Yes.
Of course. Big Trouble in Little China.
Yes.
Yeah, of course. Wait, Al, you're not answering these. Can't help but notice. It got super quiet.
She stopped saying yes or no. Hold on. Have you not seen Beverly Hills Cop?
I think
I
you showed
think I
me-
showed
yeah.
it to you. I'm not positive though.
Big Trouble in Little China?
I like that.
That
Big
I
Trouble in
don't know.
China. Kurt Russell.
Yeah.
The guy with the lightning fingers. All right, I can show you that one. That's
No,
a
I
that's a
have
solid
not
movie.
seen it.
Blade Runner.
Yes.
I have no idea.
Though as much as I like Cyberpunk, I still don't get the hype.
It's very boring to me. It's
I
a good
don't
movie, but it's
think I've
very
seen
boring.
it.
I don't know.
Here's
Go ahead.
a couple that I don't know. Blue Velvet.
Yes.
Who's in it?
No.
I have no idea. Hold on, let me.
Oh, I figured I forgot that you just know shit, and you were you were throwing out names earlier.
No,
Blue Velvet is on Hulu right now.
No idea what that one is. I also don't know what BMX Bandits is.
I have no clue what that
And if you're at
is.
home, play along with us. None of us have seen it, so that's 2 that none of us have seen.
3.
3. What was the other one?
We're at 3 total.
What was the other one?
Well, the very first one.
There's the
Oh,
very
at close
first one.
range. Yeah, because none of us saw
Yeah.
that.
And then there was another
At
one
close
fairly
range.
recently, and then
The Burbs. Classic.
Yes.
Love it. Tom Hanks.
I love Tom
don't
Hanks.
think I've seen it.
Cat's Eye. Yes.
No.
Nope. Horror
don't
film.
think I've seen it.
I think it's
The only
Stephen King.
Cat's Eye I know is an anime from the 70s.
Had a very young Drew Barrymore in it. Like right after E.T., I think, or right before one of the others. It's 85. All right, this is an easy one. Child's Play.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Have you seen Child's Play?
You probably showed it to
I
her.
don't think I've ever shown her that one. I showed her Cult of Chucky.
Why would you do that?
Because, I mean, it was the first time I saw it.
And in fairness, Cult of Chucky is probably the best Child's Play movie in a while.
Yeah. 'Cause they
granted-
stopped being silly.
Yeah, no, that bar was buried a couple movies ago.
Not even Barbado
True.
Slim could go into that one. It's so low. Cobra.
No.
Oh.
Wait, no.
Who's in it?
I
Sylvester
don't know.
Stallone.
No.
Yeah, I've seen it.
It's so good. You've probably seen the picture, the covers of like him holding a machine gun with the glasses on. It's
If
very
it's a
iconic.
Sly movie from the 80s, I've seen it. Like I'm
You just
sure.
don't remember.
Yeah, like I don't remember that title, but it happened.
Condor Man.
Nope.
No.
No, lucky clue. Yeah, so that's another one.
No.
One of my guilty pleasures, Critters,
Yes, because you made me
No.
watch it.
aka fake
don't think
fake
so.
Gremlins. Dead Heat. Yes.
No.
No.
Oh, Joe Pesci and I think Treat Williams. Yeah.
Nope.
It's they're cops. They're like partners, and one dies, and kind of comes back. It's
Not my genre.
the
Sorry.
only thing you really need to remember. It's like a comedy horror. The only thing you need to remember is that Joe Piscopo in this movie is jacked. Dude is jacked. Deadly Friend. Yes.
No.
No.
This is the one you've probably seen the gif of it though, where the girl, she's like a robot and she throws the ball at the woman's head and her head breaks open and
No.
Yeah.
Is this a movie? Depeche Mode 101.
What?
It's a big no. Okay. Desperately Seeking Susan.
Yes.
No.
No.
What's that one? Die Hard.
Yes.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't think I have.
It's a classic.
God
It's a
damn it.
classic. Dragon Slayer.
I don't think so.
That sounds familiar.
I would say the title sounds familiar, but
But it's a super generic ass title.
I'm looking directly at Lindsay. You've never seen Dragon Slayer.
does it have a picture?
It's got Walt Disney above it.
Oh, live action?
Yeah.
Oh, hang on.
Is this the Peter Mc... Oh, shit. Sorry. I think this is the Peter McNichol film. Let me look it
No,
up.
I
real quick.
haven't watched it
If it's got Peter McNichol in it, I've definitely
because
seen
I don't
it.
recognize that cover at all.
A Disney movie you've never seen? That's
I
crazy.
didn't watch a lot of their live action stuff back then.
Let's see. Cast. Yep, Peter McNichol. Yep. I have seen it. It's good. You should watch it. It's fun. Where were we at? Escape from New York.
Yep.
I don't remember.
Think so.
Snake Plissken. They base a little, I mean, probably widely known trivia, but Snake from Metal Gear is based almost entirely on Snake Plissken, played by Kurt Russell in Escape from New York.
Huh, cool.
And the less
Explorers.
popular Escape from
No.
LA.
I like that one though. It's got Bruce Campbell.
I do love
Bruce Campbell as the Surgeon General of Los Angeles, and he's got like the fucked up face because he's had so much plastic surgery. That's just funny. Explorers with River Phoenix and Ethan Hawke.
No.
Nope, no. First Blood, Rambo.
Yes.
Yes.
No.
All right. Every time Allie says
If-
yes, take a drink.
If
I
there
don't
was
have
a
that
list,
much water left.
If there was a list of Disney's straight-to-TV movies, I would be killing it right now.
No, me and
Maybe
her
we'll do
both.
that list next time, and
Yeah,
then I
Jesse.
can be
Killing
Allie.
it.
No, no.
Jesse would also kill that list.
One of my
Fairness.
all-time favorite films, Fright Night.
Ooh, yeah.
That's a good one.
You showed me that, right?
I did.
Yes.
Yeah, I love that movie. That is so good. G.I. Joe, the animated movie.
No.
No.
Never watched
Yes.
it.
Really? You've never seen G.I. Joe?
I watched the cartoon. I don't remember if I watched the movie.
Oh, I loved it when I was a kid. The Gate, which we watched a little while ago,
Oh,
about
yeah.
the backyard and the little monsters that come out. You may have fallen asleep. Does it sound
I
familiar?
don't recall watching this.
You don't remember? And the kid gets the hand in the eye, or the eye in the hand, and there's this giant monster. It's
Oh, yeah,
all
because we
claymation.
made the Vampire Hunter D references.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
It's
Never mind. I take it back.
It's a little
You-
known horror classic from the 80s. I liked it. Gleaming the Cube.
No.
No.
What?
Gleaming the Cube.
Yeah, I'm not.
That sounds like a euphemism for something.
That's something April O'Neil does.
Oh,
Allie, I'm going to give this one to you. Gremlins.
Yes. Yes,
Okay.
I have.
Yes.
And we've all seen that. Halloween 3, Season of the Witch.
Yep.
Yes.
no.
Don't think so.
It's the first one where they deviated from the Michael
yeah,
Myers thing.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah, and it's about masks. It's really good. Hellraiser.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Yes. Yes, I have.
Did I show it to you or you saw it before me?
I saw it before you.
That's crazy. In what world did Christian Alley watch
It was
Hellraiser?
probably a TV version.
Then you didn't watch it. Watching Hellraiser on edited television is not an experience.
That movie would be 45 minutes long.
It's a short. The Hidden.
No.
No. The Hitcher.
No.
Sounds familiar,
It's
but
about a killer hitchhiker.
No.
That's it.
probably.
Another one of my favorites, House.
No.
Probably.
Not the Hugh Laurie.
I was like, I know that TV show.
It's the one, I thought I showed it to you, where the guy goes back to, like, his mom passed away, so he goes back to his house. He's a writer, and he's dealing with the loss of his son, and he starts seeing monsters in the house, and he's being chased by an old army buddy, and there's monsters. No, this isn't ringing a bell? Okay.
Not ringing a bell for me.
I'm like
So good.
mixing like 7
Also,
different
we're only in the
movies and
H's.
shows.
How much time we got?
4 minutes. We've only done this for 3 minutes.
That can't be true.
It blows my mind. No, seriously. We still have plenty of time. It's got Richard Bull from Night Court. And George Wendt. And George Wendt.
You're saying names like I know names like you do.
He's from Cheers. Ah! I'm gonna go full peanuts on you. Go, ah! Howard the Duck.
Yes.
Fuck yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The first love scene between duck and human.
Whoo, that
Oh
was
my
weird
god,
as
that
shit.
movie's so fucking uncomfortable.
I haven't watched that in years. I need to watch it like as an adult.
To see if I think there's some adult situations in that you don't want to see again.
Because I loved that movie as a kid.
Ice Pirates.
No.
No. Invaders from Mars.
Yeah.
No.
No.
The Karate Kid.
Yes.
Fuck
Yeah.
yes. The Keep.
No.
Started it, didn't finish it. Didn't like it.
Don't think so.
Kroll the Conqueror.
No.
No.
Yeah. Somehow. Lady Hawk.
Yes.
Michelle Pfeiffer and Tanner, stop. Stop messaging me. Michelle Pfeiffer and
My mom likes that
Matthew
movie.
Broderick. Last Starfighter.
Yes. I missed that movie. I have not seen it in forever. I need it to be put on a streaming service.
Jesus. I've never seen it.
Oh, I love
never
that
seen Last
movie.
Starfighter?
I've never seen Last Starfighter.
What the fuck?
I was more into
My mom showed
horror
me
than-
that before I saw Star Wars.
Oh, we'll set the bar real low. Star Wars was even better.
It was, but still.
Last Starfighter's still a fun movie.
It is.
Last Unicorn.
Yes.
Nope.
Yes.
No.
I love The Last
It's
Unicorn.
one of Lindsay's favorites, yeah.
It
I know
is in
that.
my like
I hadn't
top
seen it
5
till her,
favorite
though,
movies of
to be
all
fair.
time.
Damn.
Legend of Billie Jean.
No.
No.
The girl's hot on the cover, though. I'll say that. Less Than Zero. I think I have seen this movie. Does this have Robert Downey Jr. in it? Let me look it up. Because I think Robert Downey Jr. is like kind of an addict, and he dies in the end, and it's a sad ending.
I was about to say that it's almost his real life story.
Yeah, Robert Downey Jr. Yeah, it's a sad movie.
No, I have
not
not
a fan of
watched
that.
that
one. I do not
Not
think
a
I've
fan of
seen
that. License to Drive.
No.
One of the Corey films. Corey Feldman and Corey Haim. Little Shop of Horrors.
Yes.
No. I have actually not seen it.
Little Shop of Horrors.
You don't like this game, do you? You're not a big fan of it? Looker.
No.
Feed me, Seymour.
Feed me, Seymour. I was the understudy for the plant in college. Lucas.
Nope.
Nope.
The only Lucas I know is an adorable little spider.
And a shit bitch character in Smash Brothers.
That too.
Aw.
Maximum Overdrive.
Yeah.
I feel like I have seen this
My
film.
dad fucking loved this movie. Made us watch it because it was running like a marathon on a TNT, I think. On basically December 30th, 1999.
It's a stupid. I think it's a Stephen King movie about killer machines.
Yep.
Actually directed by Stephen King. It was the first movie he ever directed.
Machines coming to life.
Yeah.
And
Fucking
killing
people up. The Money Pit.
Yes.
No.
No.
I was bored on Hulu one day.
Near Dark.
No.
Yes.
No.
It's a good horror movie. A Night in the Life of Jimmy Reardon.
No.
No.
I don't even know what that is. Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yes.
Yeah.
You've seen Nightmare on Elm Street? It's good. Classic. Gave us Freddy Krueger, which is one of the all-time greats. North Shore.
No.
No.
One Crazy Summer.
No.
No.
Nope.
See, it's good when
Well,
we hit.
Wait, let me see the cover of that.
Shit.
Actually.
Yeah, I was about to say I might.
It's got a sun, and the sun appears to be wearing
No,
sunglasses.
I did see this because it's a John Cusack movie,
I'll look it up.
and he's a comic book artist.
One Crazy Summer starring.
Because I remember the opening of it is all animation, and
John
that's
Cusack.
what drew me in.
Yep. She's
I've
right.
seen it.
The Outsiders, of
Yes.
course. That had so many young actors in it. Like, it was insane. Allie is not liking this game. Overboard. Me neither. Although it's Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn, but still no.
I have seen that.
I mean,
Overboard.
that's like a classic comedy.
Yeah.
I've just never seen it.
I think
Yeah,
that's
I've
on
seen that
Hulu
one.
also.
Pet Cemetery.
Yes.
Yes.
'Cause you had me watch it.
One of the all-time most fucked up movies.
Pretty
oh my
much.
god! I really
Stephen King.
I wonder if the
The Reaper or the
reboot
yeah,
is
or not
Yeah.
really a reboot, like a
Retelling?
a remaking.
yeah. I wonder if it's going to be as good. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Yes!
Yes. Steve Martin and
John Candy.
John Candy. Yeah.
Mm.
All right. I need you to say yes to this one because if you've not seen this one, I'm actually going to be sad. So lie to me. Have you ever seen Police Academy?
Oh no, no!
I told you to lie to me.
I've seen it.
Have you never seen Police
Have
Academy?
you, seen, have you seen any of the police
Have you
academies?
seen any Police Academies?
You need to
Oh,
think.
it's such a good series.
Well, up to about the fourth one. Then it gets real
fine.
bad.
Oh, but that was hilarious. Was it 4 or 5 with Citizens on Patrol?
4 with Citizens on Patrol.
It's really funny still.
The movies I had available to me most of my life were what was at my house.
Okay, your parents should have liked Police Academy.
Seriously. It's Gutenberg.
It's Gutenberg. And the guy that makes noises with his mouth.
He's such a great sound effect machine.
Rad.
No.
Nope.
I'm hearing no. Real Genius, starring Val Kilmer.
Yes.
No.
It's a Disney movie.
I know the cover. It's blue and electricity and just him.
Well, that's yes, but that's not the cover they have here. Remo Williams, The Adventure Begins.
No.
Never seen it, but I've always wanted to. Revenge of the Nerds.
Yes.
Yep.
Allie, you just chime in when you have seen it. That's the new game.
Thanks.
River's Edge. I've never seen it.
I
Nope.
feel like I have. I need to
Doesn't
see the
sound
cover.
familiar.
There's an edge by the river.
No. Though I do see one further down that I have seen.
We're getting close to the end here, guys. You guys are playing that home. Rocky 4.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Runaway.
No.
No. The Secret of My Success.
Yes.
Starring Michael J. Fox.
Yep.
That's
No, I don't
that
think
whole the whole It's Always Sunny bit where they've got the office job and they keep playing that.
Yep.
Ooh.
No, yeah.
Well, that's the Ferris Bueller music. I don't think they
Yeah.
play it in that
I'm
one.
pretty sure it's in The Secret of My Success.
Do they? It's been a long
Maybe.
time since I watched
It's
it.
been since the movie came out.
I know it's the
87.
same deal where he pretends to be somebody else.
It's probably been. I haven't seen that movie since 1988, so it's been a while.
I've seen it sooner than that.
The Secret of Nim.
I love it. Love it. I love it. I love it.
Can I
I
see
love it.
that?
I love it. It's the little mouse, Mrs.
Yeah.
Brisby.
I don't think so.
She was so confident, and then went no.
Oh, it's so good.
The Seventh Sign with Demi Moore. Yes.
No.
Nope.
Okay. Short Circuit,
Yes.
Yeah.
aka Pre-Wally.
Five.
Allie.
No.
I think
No,
you would like Short Circuit a
disassemble.
lot.
I have it. It's at home. We can watch it.
Solar Babies.
No.
Nope.
Space Camp.
No.
Nope.
Stand and Deliver.
No.
Stand
That
and
sounds
Deliver,
really
bitch.
familiar.
Stand and
Sounds
Deliver,
familiar.
bitch.
What's
Please.
it, who's in it?
Lou Diamond Phillips.
Who else is in it?
No idea.
Sorry, Lou
Nope.
Diamond.
I can
Phillips.
only see Lou Diamond Phillips on the cover, so that's all I know.
Fair enough.
Another Stephen King adaptation. The 80s were really like the Stephen King years.
Stephen King was real popular.
Stand by Me.
Stand by Me.
I
fucking
love that
it.
movie.
Yeah. Super Fuzz.
No.
That sounds familiar.
Now here comes just a whole bunch of classics with a couple of shits sprinkled in. The Terminator.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
100% on Rotten Tomatoes. Fuck y'all. They have the Rotten Tomatoes listed too.
Oh, neat.
They Live, starring Roddy Piper.
No.
Yeah.
You've never seen They Live?
I don't think so.
Where they put the glasses on and they see the aliens?
No.
Oh,
It's neat.
ugh,
sorry.
Punching walls. The Thing.
Yes.
Yes.
Thrashing.
No.
Nope.
That's the shitty one that I was talking about. Allie, I'm going to need you to say that you've seen this one. This one's very important.
We've already
to
played
me.
this game and it didn't turn out good.
The Three Amigos.
Yes, I've seen it.
Are you, okay, now I don't know if you're lying to me though. Or,
Who's in it?
oh, don't ask her that. That's like you and music. That's
I
unfair.
know.
Steve Martin.
Yeah, that's who was it.
Yeah.
Steve Martin.
Chevy Chase. Martin Short. All-time classic.
Yes.
Fantastic
Time
movie.
Bandits.
No, you guys have definitely seen, or she has definitely seen that movie. because I was nearby when you watched it.
Didn't we watch it on Valentine's Day?
Yes, you did.
Yeah, that day Dalton and Jesse were in here playing games.
And
Yeah, we watched it then. That's right. Time Bandits.
No.
That's I think I've seen that.
Time Rider.
No.
Nope.
Transformers the movie.
Yes.
Yep.
Pretty sure we have that at home too.
Movies.
I believe that.
Not the Michael Bay one. Megan Fox probably wasn't even born yet.
Yeah, she was. She was born in 1987.
Well, this came out in 86.
Shit.
YouTube Rattle and Hum. No, let's get an answer for you guys. War Games. Yes.
Yes.
Weekend at Bernie's.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. Willow.
Yes.
Maybe.
All right, last three. Let's see how we do. Witches of Wait, what do you mean maybe on Willow?
I do, like the name sounds really familiar, but I don't know if I've seen it. You know,
Early alternate Peter Dinklage.
Warwick.
Alternate.
Warwick.
Yeah. Warwick Davis.
Yes,
Yeah.
that.
Val Kilmer.
Uh-huh.
Does
It's
that ring a
real
bell?
it's real good.
I'm a little surprised.
I mean, like I might have seen it, but like, I don't know. I
The
can't say for sure.
Witches of Eastwick.
No.
Yes.
Yes. You never seen Witches of Eastwick?
I don't
Jack
think so.
Nicholson, Cher. Who else is in it? I'm gonna cheat and look at the cover. Susan Sarandon.
I've
and
probably
other woman.
seen parts of it, but I don't remember it.
The Wraith.
No.
Nope.
No.
If I remember correctly, Wraith is Charlie Sheen, and it's about a racer driver that dies and comes back as a badass.
God damn, that theme was popular in the 80s.
A high school hero returns from the dead to take revenge against the psychotic drag racer who killed him. Yep.
Huh.
And then lastly, and this is one of my favorites, Young Guns.
Yep.
Maybe.
A dramatic, really handsome retelling of Billy the Kid and that whole thing.
I've probably seen it, but I don't remember.
I think you have. Young Guns is one I think everybody's seen. Okay, so we did go about 9 minutes over, but hey, considering we just went through 100 movies in like 15, 16 minutes.
And
I
we
think
have
did well.
seen slightly more than 75% of them.
You have.
No, I mean the between the table.
Oh, okay.
There were 24 total that no one at the table has seen.
Oh, you really keep a track?
Yeah.
It's not bad.
Wow, 24 out of 100 nobody has seen. But a lot of them were like really women-y movies.
Women-y movies.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
say that. I would have known a heck of a lot more of them.
Why was Fried Green Tomatoes not on that list?
Wasn't
not
that
an 80s
90s?
movie? Oh, was that 90s?
I think it's 90s.
it was Julia Roberts.
Because I think that's 90s and Steel Magnolias was 90s.
I mean, there's a lot of those movies in particular that I couldn't tell you. I know it's in that era, but
Right.
I couldn't tell you 80s or 90s.
Punisher wasn't on that list starring Dolph Lundgren. There was a severe lack of Dolph Lundgren on that list. All right, we're going to get out of here. I want to thank you guys for listening and playing along with us at home. We want to thank Allie for being here. Unfortunately, you didn't win, but we do have a consolation prize for you.
You get to cook dinner.
Wow.
I'm kidding.
Damn. Happy Women's Appreciation Month, y'all. At least it was Shannon that said it.
She said it. I didn't say it.
I was going to say at least it wasn't.
Oh, thank you. All right. Good night, guys. We'll see you on Sunday for Nerd Up.